What's up, guys? Doing another video today. I'm on my way home from work, so I figured I'd just kind of throw this up. I know I was talking about this video on my last one, and I think it's kind of it would benefit some people that are kind of in a situation that I was in when I was looking for a car like this. For me, I guess we'll start off by saying that I got this car back in March of 2017. And at the time I was driving a 2015 Jeep Grand Cherokee, which was a great car. That was like we had our first kid, and I was looking to get something a little bit more, I guess, kid friendly. I had a WRX hatchback before that, so I ended up selling that to get into the Jeep, which was a great SUV. I really liked it, but it just wasn't for me. I wanted something a little bit more, I guess, fun. That was just, it wasn't my style. But although if I did have that and have the Jeep in comparison with this car or something else fun, I think that's a great combo. But as a one and only car, I couldn't do it. So I was ready to get something fun again. And I had a couple of requirements that I was looking at when I was looking for another fun car. So I guess I'm just going to list off those requirements I had, and I guess I'll go over the other cars that I was considering during my search. So my requirements were, I wanted something that was manual. I wanted something that was I could be engaged with the car. I didn't want any DSGs or SMGs or DCTs or anything that was automated. I wanted a third pedal. I wanted to drive the car. When I had the Jeep, it made me really miss being connected to the car, and I really miss driving a manual. So I wanted something that in a car that's. I wanted a car that still offered the manual option. These days, a lot of manuals, you won't find them as much, simply because the way things are moving. A lot of companies are going solely towards doing the automatic variant. Whether it's DSG or some type of dual clutch kind of automatic / manual transmission, which are great in their own way, but for me, I wanted a true manual. Another requirement was I wanted something all-wheel drive. I know that's not a necessity when you're in a state where it snows a lot or you get some bad weather and everything, but I just wanted it for me. I wanted something that I could drive year-round. I didn't want to be held back by the weather. I have to go to work, I have to transport family and kids around and everything like that. So, I've had cars in the past where, I wouldn't drive because of the weather. I was too afraid to go out and drive it, in fear of other cars hitting me or just not being fully capable to drive, to have that, the car wasn't that great in the snow. So something all-wheel drive was kind of important to me. And that just kind of helped kind of narrow down my search, because there's not many all-wheel drive manual cars out there that are crazy expensive. My next requirement was it had to be fun. I was seriously missing that fun aspect of driving a car. I went into the Jeep, that's just like a people hauler. It has great amenities. It's really quiet. It's really smooth and comfortable, but it's just not fun to drive. And I was really missing that. So something that was engaging and that really kind of rekindled my love of cars. I really wanted a car to be able to do that, or the next car that I was getting to, I really wanted to have that back. My next requirement, it was under 40,000. There's not many cars that are all-wheel drive, fun to drive, manual, and under that 40K price point. So, you know, I kind of limited my options here, but I feel like a lot of people, oh, I guess another requirement is I needed 4 doors. You know, that's, you know, having kids and just, you know, doing daily duties and everything like that. It's to me, it was really important to have those 4 doors. You know, I've done the whole 2-door thing, which was great when it was, you know, it was just me and I didn't have any other people to really cart around in, or, you know, as many responsibilities as I do now. So having those 2 extra doors is a huge help. Just, you know, hauling things around, and it's just way easier for me. And I'm sure a lot of people, you know, agree with that. So that was the last requirement I had. But you know, there's not many cars in that price bracket that had all those options that I was looking for. So I guess I'll go over the cars I was looking at the time that kind of fit that criteria I was searching for. So the first car I was looking at obviously was the Subaru STI. That kind of checked all the boxes for me. But you know, I had that thought of, you know, I've already had a Subaru before, you know, why not try something different? So another car that I was looking at was the Volkswagen Golf R. You know, that kind of ticked all the boxes for me. It was manual, or I was able to get it in manual. You know, it was 4 doors. I even had it's a hatchback style, so it was a little bit more roomy in terms of, you know, cargo space. Another car that I was looking at was the Focus RS. At the time when I was looking into getting another car, you know, the Focus RS just kind of came out, so the markups that dealers were putting on those cars were, you know, ridiculous. You know, 10, 15, sometimes even 20,000 over. And to me, I even had a hard time paying, you know, the 30, 35, 36,000 for a Focus. You know, I know it's very different, but you know, I had a hard time coming to terms with that on such a new car for you know, the U.S. It was something new. I knew it was fun. I knew it was, you know, I would enjoy it, but you know, that was kind of a big risk to take for me. And you know, I don't want to spend. I'm so happy I did it. You know, the people that spent, you know, well over the MSRP on those things, you know, it's kind of crazy, because those cars some of them are still sitting on the lots. Wow, I think I just did a stupid move. And I guess the only other car that I was looking at is kind of the only car that didn't fit all the criteria, which was the BMW E90 M3, which is the 4-door variant. E92 is a 2-door. So I guess the only thing that didn't fit on that car with my criteria was all-wheel drive. But I have driven rear-wheel drive cars before in the snow, and which was my previous E46 M3, which I had absolutely 0 problems driving in the snow. But then again, I wasn't driving as much. I did have a dedicated set of wheels and winter tires for that car, which, you know, really made it very simple to drive in the snow. But you know, at the time, it just wasn't really in the cards to drive to get something like that, simply because it wasn't as practical in terms of gas, and the pricing still wasn't there. They were still kind of up there. So you know, that I kind of put that on the back burner. I wasn't really in the position to get something like that just yet. So ultimately, it kind of boiled down to, you know, I took the RS off the list because that wasn't, you know, just I wasn't ready to pay that markup, and I didn't know if I really would like the car or not. And there were still a few things on that car that wasn't crazy about. I felt like the interior was still dated, and I wasn't crazy about the rear end. The front end, I think, looks great. But anyway, I took the RS off the list, so it was kind of down to 2 cars. I was down to the STI and the Golf R. And I mean, I guess I could put the GTI and the WRX on the list as well, but they were kind of low on the list because I knew I wanted kind of the bump up, so the STI or the Golf R. But you know, I still was thinking about them, you know, a little bit. But ultimately, it was really down to the Golf R or the STI, which I'm sure many people are in that position. You know, they're kind of trying to decide between the two. They're both very similar cars. I guess to me the only thing that was different, or that kind of separated the two for me, was the price point. You know, Golf Rs, I really tried to kind of pick one up, but the dealers were they were praising those cars, and they just would not budge on the price. You know, I wasn't asking for anything astronomical in terms of you know, the deal I wanted, but you know, they would not move. They just didn't want to work with me. Every single dealer that I contacted, which was a lot, they just didn't want to do anything in terms of, you know, trying to get a good deal. You know, the price was kind of firm, and that was it. So that kind of put a bad taste in my mouth. Granted, I think the Golf R is a little bit kind of a bump up from the STI in terms of, you know, quality and stuff like that. But I soon found out that after driving the Golf R, kind of getting a better perspective, it was, to me, it was a little bit soft. You know, the exterior, I think it looks really good, but it seems a little soft in terms of how aggressive it looks. It's very plain, you know, which is kind of the Volkswagen / Audi kind of look. You know, they're very subdued. It's very, I think, very classy and in their own way, but it just didn't do it for me. And even the driving experience, you know, it seemed a little floaty, and just, I don't know. I mean, I've, you know, granted the interior quality and the parts and everything is light years above where Subaru was, at least at the time. But that was the price, and just didn't really do it for me after I kind of test drove one. You know, I know you can make those cars pretty darn fast with not a lot of money, but you know, I guess the price is what really kind of threw me off. You know, I wasn't ready to pay, you know, over 40 grand for a Golf, basically. I mean, again, I know that's not just a normal Golf, but you know, I just had a hard time coming to terms with that. You know, I'm also kind of looking at resale values of these cars too. You know, I don't want to be completely upside down when I do end up selling the car that I decided with. So, you know, I was always looking at not appreciation values, of course, because these kind of cars don't appreciate, but just if they hold their value. You know, if I lose a couple grand over, you know, 2, 3, 4 years, whatever, you know, well, fine, but I don't want to lose, you know, like $15,000 or whatever in terms of depreciation over my ownership. So, you know, that was something else I took into consideration. And with the STI, everything just kind of lined up for me. You know, it was in terms of dealing with the dealer and just actually, you know, making a deal in terms of what I needed. And you know, it literally checked every single box. It was 4 doors, all-wheel drive, manual. It was really fun to drive, and it was under 40,000. And you know, that just solidified it to me. You know, at that time when I bought this car, you know, it was perfect. You know, there really wasn't anything that that I was kind of, you know, oh, it's not. I didn't have anything in the car that was lacking of what I needed. And still to this day, you know, even though I may be thinking of, you know, moving to something else at some point, I still find myself saying there's no need to get rid of this car. You know, it really just fits everything my lifestyle currently. The only reason why I would be moving to something else is just to experience a new car, and that's kind of saying a lot about this car. You know, I know it's old technology and all that, and you know, there's better and faster and cooler stuff out there, but you know, it's kind of, to me, it's really keeping my attention, and I'm staying pretty content with this car. It's still a blast to drive, and I'm really enjoying my ownership. You know, of course, you know, I'm at that point now. I'm coming on 3 years with the car. You know, so I'm getting that itch to get something else. But you know, I'm really still enjoying this car, and I think a lot of people will, despite its old technology. You know, it's got the old, you know, EJ in there and everything, and the interior is not as crazy as you know, newer cars are these days. But you know, I really suggest just going out and driving one. It's a great fun car that you can have for well under 40,000. You know, there's there's not many cars, and this gearbox is probably easily one of the best out there in this price bracket. You know, I still really am happy with this choice, and I think a lot of people will too. You know, and I understand the big wing and the kind of loud features on this car is not for everyone. So I get it. I get this car is not for everybody. You know, to me, I really do enjoy the wing, and I think it's fun, and you know, it does get the attention sometimes too much. But you know, I kind of enjoy that aspect of the ownership. You know, it's fun to me to talk about the car with others, or kind of, you know, give thumbs up to people that, you know, wave to me or whatever. You know, I enjoy that part of the ownership. So I kind of hope this video helps some people out that are in a similar situation as me. I do have 2 kids. I have 2 car seats in the back that I drive, you know, all the time. They're always in the car with me, and they always ask to take Daddy's car. So, you know, that's always kind of solidifying the choice that I made even more. Just knowing that I can, you know, accommodate to my family and whatever my life kind of throws at me. So, that's just kind of making the ownership even better than I anticipated. Anyone looking for a fun car that's manual, all-wheel drive, four doors, and under 40,000, I don't think you'll make a wrong choice with the STI or the WRX. You know, it just depends on, you know, what your budget is and what you're looking for. But the STI is a great choice, and you know, I highly encourage everyone that's looking at all those cars I did name to go out and test drive and see what you like the best. For me, it was the STI, and I don't think I made a bad choice. So if you guys have any questions about, you know, why I chose the STI, or you know, just any questions in general, just leave them below and I'll be happy to answer them. I am going to try to get some more videos out for you guys. I got some good feedback on my last one about what kind of videos you guys did want to see, so I'll be sure to you know, put them on my list and try to get them done as soon as I can. My time is obviously limited, you know, because I have a full-time job, and the weekends are basically my only time that I get to make the videos. You know, sometimes at night in the garage and stuff, I can knock some things out. But I guess I'll catch you guys in the next video, and you know, be sure to like the video. You know, it really helps me out. You know, I have seen some growth in the channel, so that's always a good thing. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.